CNN coverage of Election 96. Live from CNN Center, here are Judy Woodruff, Bernard Shaw, Bill Schneider, and Ken Bodie.
Well, the polls have closed in 2 states, in Indiana and Kentucky, and already, gentlemen, we have a little bit of news, and that is in Kentucky, we are able to say that it is undecided. With what, 15% or more of the vote in, it is now too close to call. Ken, do you want to explain the difference between those two terms?
The difference between those two terms, Judy, is that it's undecided when we open it up. We don't have enough votes at all. But after it's been, we have 15% of the vote in, at least 15% of the vote in, or it has remained undecided for an hour, we make it too close to call. Then we know the race is going to be really tight.
And in the Hoosier State, Indiana, the presidential, Clinton and Dole, CNN is still saying that that race is undecided. Bill Schneider, you're here with the exit polls. You will be here all this evening, and you're using a gadget. I call it a telestrator. That's a no-no. Telestrator is a brand name. That one is a Cody. But anyway, it's interesting to see you make these marks.
That's right. Bodie, Cody.
Yes.
Cody,
right.
Bodie. All right. We're going to take a look at the exit polls. We're going to look at the national exit polls because different issues worked for Bob Dole and Bill Clinton. So let's take a look at what issues worked for Clinton and what issues worked for Bob Dole. First, the issues that worked best for Bill Clinton. The top issue for Bill Clinton, the economy. Among those voters who said the economy and jobs was the most important issue that drove their vote today, they went by about 2-to-1 for Bill Clinton. Clinton constantly touted his record on the economy, said we're better off, and it looks like the voters who thought they were voted for him. Now, the voters who said the most important issue was Medicare, they also voted by about 3-to-1 for Bill Clinton. Remember, the Democrats ran a lot of ads and had a lot of speeches in which they said the Republicans are trying to damage or cut Medicare. Third issue that worked for Bill Clinton, now this is one that did very well for Bill Clinton, and it was the education issue. He talked a lot about his program for the future and highlighted education as a key to that program. That clearly paid off for Bill Clinton. Bob Dole had very little credibility on the education issue. He got only 17% of the vote among those who said that was their top issue. Now, there were issues that worked for Bob Dole. One was the federal budget deficit. In a way, this is the old Bob Dole, the Bob Dole of green eye shades. He was once called the tax collector for the welfare state, but it looked like voters who were concerned about the deficit did go for Bob Dole. On the other hand, in this campaign, Dole did something interesting. He ran on a 15% across-the-board tax cut, and he said that he would return money to the American people. So it looks like Dole had it both ways. Among voters who were concerned about the deficit, they went for Bob Dole. Among those voters who said their concern was about taxes and they wanted a tax cut, they also went for Bob Dole. The old Dole and the new Dole showed up in this election.
Very, very interesting. We are getting ready to make a call in the Indiana gubernatorial race. That was the race that pitted Indianapolis's Mayor Steve Goldsmith, the Republican, and Frank O'Bannon, the lieutenant governor. CNN declares that when it's all said and done, we estimate that Frank O'Bannon will be the next governor of Indiana. And Ken Bodie, that's your state. A little history being made there.
Well, Steve Goldsmith, the mayor of Indianapolis. Indiana has never had a mayor from Indianapolis. Frank O'Bannon is lieutenant governor. They couldn't say he's a protege of Evan Bayh because he's much older than Evan Bayh, but he is clearly benefited by the economic prosperity of Indiana and the fact that Evan Bayh promised never to raise taxes, did not raise taxes. There's an economic surplus in the state. If the economy is working for Bill Clinton nationally, it certainly worked for Frank O'Bannon in Indiana.
Well, that's got to make the Democrats happy. That state was very much a toss-up, that race.
Yep.
Well, we don't know how much money was spent in that governor's race, but controversy over what some call the mother's milk of politics has left a sour taste in many people's mouths as this entire election cycle is drawn to a close. Our Brooks Jackson has been following the campaign dollars, and he joins us from Washington. Brooks?
Well, Judy, the sheer volume of big money in the '96 campaign was staggering, and some of it was tainted.
Illegal contributions, a Democratic official hiding out from the press, more than enough to make Bill Clinton regret these words.
I'd like to thank my longtime friend John Huang for being so effective.
Huang was effective, all right, at generating money and trouble. $250,000 solicited by Hwang from a Korean company had to be given back. Illegal, as were at least 2 other contributions. And there are legal questions about $450,000 from an Indonesian man and his wife living in this Jakarta mansion, connected to Indonesia's Lippo Group conglomerate. But the money mess is really bipartisan. One of Bob Dole's finance chiefs was fined $6 million for making illegal corporate contributions. And in Campaign 96, the money race veered out of control as the 22-year-old post-Watergate campaign finance law all but collapsed.
$16 million?
$16 million in just one night. $264 million since the 1st of 1995 for the Republican National Committee, up 154% over 4 years earlier. Nearly $210 million for the Democratic National Committee, up 160%. Top donors to the RNC, the Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds tobacco companies, the mother of the Republican candidate for governor of North Carolina, a Canadian liquor company, and a drug company. Top DNC givers, a labor union, a Hollywood film company, a wealthy Bostonian, 2 more unions, and, of course, that Indonesian couple.
Congressional investigations are certain, and a criminal investigation by an independent counsel is now considered likely. Less certain is whether Congress and the president can clean up the money mess. Bernie?
Thank you very much, Brooks. We're going to be here until you go to sleep and possibly after. Our live coverage will continue in just a moment. Now we take you to the East Coast, where our man Jonathan Karl has been covering the race for the United States Senate seat in New Jersey, the seat vacated by Democrat Bill Bradley. Jonathan, how has all this negative campaigning and mudslinging in that race affected the voting?
Well, Bernie, the battle to replace Bill Bradley has been so negative that just a couple of days ago, 3 New Jersey newspapers came out and recommended a vote for none of the above. And as many of the voters were going to the polls today, some still had not made up their minds.
It's very close, but...
As New Jersey chooses between Bob Torricelli and Dick Zimmer, the critical vote will likely come from the nearly 1/3 of probable voters that polls showed were undecided in the final days of the campaign.
New Jersey voters, beware.
On both sides, the campaign has been waged largely through a barrage of negative TV commercials. All told, the campaigns have spent about $15 million. Republican Dick Zimmer has slammed Democrat Bob Torricelli for alleged ties to mobsters and terrorists. Democrat Torricelli, in turn, has accused Zimmer of denying medical coverage for cancer tests and allowing ocean dumping. No wonder both candidates are ready for the campaign to be over.
Are you glad it's over?
You have no idea. I've never wanted anything to be over as much in my life.
Well, here in Woodbridge, New Jersey, the Torricelli campaign is preparing for what they hope to be a victory party. Judy?
All right, Jonathan Karl, thanks. Well, another very interesting Senate race has been taking place in the state of Minnesota. Our own Mark Watts is at the headquarters of the incumbent Senator Paul Wellstone. Mark, I think across the country some voters have been complaining the candidates sound alike. Has that been the case there?
Well, Judy, that's not the case in this race. These two candidates couldn't be more farther apart. One is sort of hyperactive and called a big spender and a champion of social programs. The other is a staunch conservative and truly advocates lesser government. So voters have not voiced those complaints here in this race. This is one race where voters have a real choice.
The showdown in the Minnesota Senate race pits 2 men at opposite ends of the political spectrum. Freshman Democrat Paul Wellstone, a proud old-style liberal, versus Rudy Boschwitz, a conservative who held the seat for 12 years before Wellstone knocked him off in 1990. Today's vote concludes a bitter campaign waged over the airwaves, both men accusing each other of being out of touch and distorting each other's records. Analysts say Boschwitz's negative ads in particular may have boomeranged. Once a dead heat, the race has now widened into a double-digit lead for the incumbent Wellstone. He wrapped up the campaign with a barrage of final day campaign events. Boschwitz took part in just a few events and did some radio interviews.
And Boschwitz says he's not worried about his latest standing in the polls. If you may recall, 6 years ago on Election Day, it was Boschwitz who had a double-digit lead, and that was the night that Wellstone defeated him. So he is sort of hoping that history repeats itself in his favor. Bernie?
Thanks very much, Mark. We'll come back to you a little later. Covering that Oregon Senate race is our man Greg Lamont. That's a race pitting Republican Gordon Smith against Democrat Tom Bruguiere for the seat held by the retiring Mark Hatfield. Greg, what's the difference between these two candidates?
Well, Bertie, that is an excellent question, and maybe the best and quickest answer would be to say very little.
Yeah. What's a state to do when it's got two very popular, good-looking, self-made millionaires who both call themselves moderates, who are both seeking a soon-to-be vacated U.S. Senate seat held by a very popular U.S. senator? Well, here in Oregon, the polls would suggest about half the voters want 44-year-old Republican State Senator Gordon Smith. The other half want 50-year-old Democrat Tom Bruguiere. It's a race too close to call, and by late tonight, the eyes of the entire nation may be focused on Oregon, looking for the state to decide the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. Smith's fortune is in the frozen food business. He says Republicans in Congress must keep Bill Clinton in check. Bruguiere's millions come from a computer software firm. He says Bill Clinton needs a Congress willing to work with him. Both men are said to be extremely ambitious and have run on issues typical across the country: taxes, education, and the environment.
What really makes this race very interesting is that its outcome may not be known for days. That's because there are 700,000 absentee ballots, and they may not be counted all until Friday. Judy?
All right, I guess that means you're going to be up late tonight. Thanks. Well, we'll be back shortly with more of our election night coverage. Poll closings in 6 states are just minutes away.
CNN's coverage of Election 96 is brought to you by Merrill Lynch. For our clients, the difference is planning. The difference is Merrill Lynch. And by Pfizer. We're part of the cure.